Runner-up is Susan Solar from IFS Marketing, and woo! And I thought what would be great is to have the winners, and Susan being the runner-up, share a little bit about what her lean startup experiment was so that we could proliferate the learnings across the marketing community. So, Susan, I'm going to pass this to you.
Thanks, Nancy. Also, which one? Thanks. Hi, everyone. So I joined IFS back in June, and one of the first business problems I started to work on was how to do rapid testing in a B2B2C business. And what I mean by that is actually our customers are financial institutions and their end users, and we have about 1,100 financial institutions. And each time we want to do a test, we have to ask permission, and then we can run the test. And it might take us 4 months to run a test, and then we might not be that happy with the result. So my vision is, how do I run a rapid experiment within hours and get reliable results around customer behavior? So I thought, well, maybe I can create a mix of marketing tests and put them in front of different customer groups, and that'll help me calibrate and validate the results, see if I'm actually seeing genuine customer behavior, and then also hopefully get some new marketing insights. So there's a couple of different ways I could approach this, and I thought, well, one thing I could do is go to non-IFS consumers and test with them. And in that case, my leap of faith assumption is that even though they're not our customers, they'll actually behave like our customers. Or another thing I could do is go to our financial institutions and ask them for permission to invite their end users to a test panel. And in that case, my leap of faith assumption is that even though they're part of a panel, they'll still behave like customers in the wild, to borrow an expression from Jen. And so in both these cases, the hypothesis is really that if I test with these smaller consumer groups, then they'll give me reliable results, which will help me predict the broader impact of our marketing efforts. So what I did was I quickly built 10 diverse marketing tests spanning products that we offer through online banking. And the way I did this is I used a tool called Unbounce, which makes it really easy for anyone to create multivariate tests. And then and these tests spanned all our products. They were incentives, sweeps tests, value propositions, some social call to actions, just a bunch of different things. And I thought, well, who can I put this in front of really quickly? And so I went to Mechanical Turk. And so for those of you who don't know what that is, Amazon created this thing called Mechanical Turk, where there are some 250,000 people willing to perform human intelligence tasks for you for very little money. And this is not usually what they do, but I thought, wow, there are a lot of them. They're probably consumers. Let's see what happens. And so I bought a URL called ionintuit.com, and I put these tests up there. And you can see some of the examples of the tests. In this case, I was testing a rewards program and whether people would be willing to share that they got cash back through their online banking and whether they would share on Facebook or Twitter. Here's another example where I was curious to see if people would want to develop deep personal relationships with their financial institutions if their peers said that they had these really great relationships, or whether they just never wanted to go to the bank again and do it all through mobile. So I also, at the end of the test, asked a few questions of these Turkers, these human intelligence taskers, because I really had no idea who they were. And so in terms of my learnings, what I learned about them is about 40% of them could well be our end users because they bank at the same type of financial institutions who are our customers. And then another 50% are actually banking at places that are acquisition targets for us. So, that makes it a great place to go to test both acquisition and things that we already have out there with established customers. And then in terms of the marketing learnings, by doing such a breadth of different tests across different products, I was able to step back and get some really interesting insights and also just ask myself bigger questions and think about new tests. I saw trends like specificity improving conversion across a bunch of different products. I learned a lot about where incentives work. They work better for established products. There are a bunch of different examples where I felt like I saw an appetite for sharing. I saw an appetite for getting reminders to take action, things that we can definitely learn from across the products. So the decision is definitely to persevere. My next steps are validation and calibration. I'm going to actually build the end user test panel that I talked about earlier, and we'll run the same test to calibrate the results that I got from Mechanical Turk. And then some of these will also execute in real campaigns. And then for me, as a personal success, I'll feel really good if I in some way help my marketing team feel comfortable doing this kind of testing on their own. And one of the things I was happiest about is after I shared these results with the IFS team at large last Thursday, within the same day, within an hour and a half, one of my colleagues, Kate, approached me. I helped her get a test up and running in an hour and a half, and she had her results in by Sunday. So that actually felt like a great testament to doing this really quickly, even if you've never done it before. So finally, I just want to thank Jen and Anne for actually making this part of my role and making it equally important to my product responsibilities. They really champion innovation and make IFS a great place to work. Thanks.
So after Susan presented, Scott leaned over and whispered, "Man, if only we had one of those in every marketing team. That would be awesome." Susan's a one-woman show, which shows in both her scrappiness as well as in the quality of her thinking.